Yeah, I took it out for granted. I was looking out for family. I was looking out the fastest. I was coming out the baddest. I was cooking, I was trapping. I was looking for the balance. I was looking through the basket. Now my stomach looked the fattest. Big old boogers full of carrots like my enemy. Still, I can't see how this can happen. I saw it printed.
Mic check, mic check, mic check. What it do, world? It is me, Brad Feezy. Hey, if you can hear me or see me, go ahead and share this. Go ahead and put this on your timeline for your good brother this morning, early this morning. Let me see. Let me check. Let me make sure they can hear me on Facebook. Shit, what it do? All right. All right. Pretty clear. What it do, world? It is me, Burfeezy. I am back, man. This is Escaping Roguish Circumstances, day 76 of the 90-day challenge. And what you're doing is challenging yourself to find yourself, challenging yourself to become something that you always wanted to be, that you feel like God put you here to be. Finding your purpose, find something that you love doing, that that you would do for free, that you feel like God has put you here to do, and do it every day for 90 days. And do it for 90 days, because you may not be able to do it every day. You may have it in your mind to do it every day. You may want to do it every day, but you know what I mean? You may skip a day or two or a week or 2 weeks. Hey, but as long as it's in your mind, you're going to get back to it. You're going to get back around to it. You're not going to stay away from it for too long. It's just that, you know, you start getting in your feelings. You get real busy, stuff come up, different things like that. So find something you love doing and do it for 90 days. And during that 90 days, you get better at it. You improve your skill level at it, and you figure out a way to get paid from it. And I mean, you figure out a way to get paid from doing something you love. That's how you never have to, you don't feel like you're working. You don't feel like it's work because you love doing it. You'll do it for as many hours as you can, you know, as long as it's paying the bills, taking care of your responsibilities. But in the meantime, in between time, you might want to get you a job until you make that happen. But this is day 76 of my 90-day challenge, man. And today is, what's today's date? February 20, Saturday, February 22nd, man. Shout out to everybody who up this morning. Shout out to everybody who feel like they want to do something, but just don't know what they should be doing. Just don't know how they should be doing it. Don't know how go about it, getting paid from it. I suggest you find a way to do it on social media, because that is the wave now, man. If you can figure out a way to do it on social media, you can teach people how to do it. You can, I mean, just do it. And folks like to just look at you do it. Do it on one of these social media platforms, and they do pay, from TikTok to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I think it's one Twitter pays. Hey, find a way to get it, to do it in front of a camera, your phone. You don't even need a special camera. Find a way to do it in front of your phone, whatever it is you like doing, cooking, cutting hair, acting. I mean, I'm seeing so many creative people on these platforms that just doing whatever it is they feel like doing, and they are getting paid from it. So, You should be able to go deep in that mind that you have and figure out a way to get paid from doing something you love. Don't shy away from it, man. Don't let this world beat you up and feel like you just here to lift boxes, or you just here to answer the phone for somebody, or clean up for somebody, or flip some burgers. Whatever it is you're doing that I know you don't like doing, but you just have to do it to pay your bills or to handle your responsibility. When you get off work, or really honestly before you go to work, it's better to do it early in the morning, because you get beat up at work, and when you get off you don't feel like doing nothing. It's better to get up early in the morning and get it done. You know what I mean? No excuses. If you really want to get to it, you will get to it. You know what I mean? But like I said, you go out in this world and you get handled, and you get beat up mentally, physically, spiritually, and you just forget everything that you wanted to do, and you just follow suit, and you do it for 30 years until you can't do it no more, until you don't want to, till they'll pay you a little bit not to do it anymore, and then you just looking until you drop dead. Don't be one of those people that never even try. You never even try to pursue what you wanted to do. You never even tried to become something that you always wanted to be. So don't be one of those people who don't even try. I am here to encourage you to go out on a limb, go for it, go attempt it, get your phone, set it up in anywhere, and do what you love to be doing. Do it for 90 days, improve your skill level at it, get better at it, and figure out a way to get paid from it. It's real simple. All you gotta do is YouTube it. Honestly, YouTube is a university for a lot of people, and all you gotta do is YouTube it. You'll figure out how to do anything, really. Anything you want to do, I feel like you can do it, figure it out on YouTube. Today's word or encouraging message, man. Yesterday I was talking about telling the truth to people. Don't hold the truth, being truthful with others. And it's so funny, man. I was talking about that yesterday, and last night I couldn't, or I guess earlier this morning, I couldn't really sleep. I was just twisting and turning. I woke up at like 2:30 last night, and I couldn't really sleep. And I was like, dang, I don't know what's. I was just thinking about all the stuff I wanted to do, what I'm gonna say on the show this morning. Just thinking, and I couldn't go back to sleep for some reason, man. And I was thinking, man, and honestly, to be honest, man, I've never met my parents. I never met my birth father. I never met my birth mother, and that impacts me in a lot of ways that I don't really look at, man. Because when I was thinking last night, I was or this morning when I couldn't go back to sleep, I was up thinking, and I wanted to talk about it this morning, because more importantly than being honest with others, you know what I mean? And I was talking about yesterday how you hinder others from becoming who they should be or becoming great people when you don't tell them the truth. You don't tell them, hey, yeah, you're a little fat. You know what I mean? You don't tell them, hey, yeah, you can work on that. You can be better on that. You don't tell them the truth. Then it keeps them from becoming who they really should be or who God wants them to be. And I was up this morning. I couldn't go back to sleep. And I was just thinking, man, on how me not having a birth mother, or being raised by my birth mother. I was raised by my mom, who raised me, Vernita Hodge, and I love her so much, and she did the best she could. So I appreciate her dearly. But I didn't get the affection growing up as a child. I didn't get the hugs and kisses from my mother that and I feel like that bothers me to this day, that I like to I feel like that affects me in different ways that I like to mention. You know what I mean? I'm a grown man now, so you really can't. I mean, you can say it, you can't, but you don't go around, man, I need a hug, man. I'm lacking affection. You don't really voice that. And but I will say, man, it bothers me sometimes. You know what I mean? Not to the point, but I'm very outspoken if I feel comfortable around you, if I feel comfortable. But other than that, if I'm in a room with a lot of people that I'm not familiar with, I feel like just feel like a little anxiety. I'm not really a greeting person, what they call an introvert. I'm not gonna really start the conversation. If you say something to me, I may say something, but as far as me really starting the conversation and um saying hey and smiling and greeting people that I don't know, I'm really very hesitant and kind of standoffish when it comes to that. And I would say because of a childhood where I didn't, because my son Trey, my son Alex, they are people, they, my son Trey especially, he is a people's person. And no matter who you is, he's gonna greet you, he's gonna talk to you, he's gonna ask you a question. And a lot of children who receive that affection, who receive that love, who receive that encouragement, that in their childhood, they are great. They don't meet anybody who is not who they can't talk to. They don't, you know what I mean? Everybody is nobody new that comes in that they can't really talk to. And I was just thinking this morning, man, on how a lot of stuff from my childhood does affect me, but you don't really want to admit to it, and you don't really want to talk about it, or maybe some people do. I don't talk about it much, or I don't recognize it. You know what I mean? It takes some thinking and some time to yourself in order for you to recognize, like, man, wow, because I didn't get this as a child, or because this happened to me as a child, this is the way I am now. And I'm saying all that to say, man, more importantly than being truthful to others, you have to be truthful with yourself. You have to understand why you are the way you are. What things that have happened to you as a child, what things that you missed out on as a child, things that you encountered, things that you got too much of, things you got too early. You should not have been exposed to that at that age. All those things make up who you are, make up how you interact with people as an adult, make up with how you treat people as an adult. So you have to be honest, because a lot of times things happen to us as children, and we try to block it out of our mind because it was so traumatizing, because it was so much of something that we just rather forget about, or because we don't spend time with ourselves and thinking about what has happened to us as through the years. And these things are very important, because they are the reason you have an attitude. They are the reason you're quick to yell. They are the reason you want a hug, or you want affection, or you show too much affection, or you are promiscuous, or you, all type of things impact our minds mentally, spiritually, us physically. Sometimes you learn bad eating habits as a child, and they just carry over into your adulthood, and you wonder why it's really difficult for you to stop eating sugar, eating snacks, or you always do this or that. These things have become you over the years, and you don't really understand why, but they have been you and become you from when you were a child, before you even knew anything about this, before you even knew these were traits that you should not have. These things become you. So you have to recognize these things, admit that this is a problem, where this problem came from, and work on it and continue to develop yourself. And you have to be truthful and honest with yourself to understand that this is how you become who you've always wanted to be. This is what you need to work on in order to be who God has. Be consistent at something, what I mean, when you weren't encouraged as a child. So you honestly don't believe you can do anything. You don't believe you can accomplish something great or extraordinary, because you didn't get that encouragement. You don't. My son Trey, man, It's really nothing that he think he cannot do. He talk, man, when I start dunking, he just think he can do stuff, and he's 8 years old, and it's because he's always been encouraged by his parents, his brothers. He's always been put to a task, and all he has to do is work at it. It's a lot of things that tie to. A lot of us don't have a relationship with our parents, or don't have that supportive relationship with our parents, or our parents were so negative, or our parents just worked too much and didn't fulfill certain aspects that, you know what I mean, you supposed to receive as a child, and you grow up with these things, and that really impacts us when we get older. So it's easy for us to just go to work and somebody tell us what to do, and we do it, and we don't try to obtain anything of greatness because you don't feel like you can. You don't have that what is the word that I'm looking for? You don't have that oomph in you that makes you think you can do it. You can do anything in the world. You can do anything that you put your mind to. I remember I used to tell my son this when they were 5 and 4 years old, and to hear my 18-year-old tell me like, Dad, I remember you used to tell me this stuff, and I really can. I believe I really can now. And so you have to know yourself. But I've been talking. I've been talking. All right. Also, I'm gonna end like this. Um, you have to know yourself, and in order to know yourself, I know people tell us to pray. And it's very important to pray. It's very important to thank God, tell God what we need. But when you're being submissive, when you're submitting to God, it's a time to pray, to tell him what you need, to thank him. But it's also a time to be quiet and just sit with yourself, and not just sit and quiet on your phone, not just sit and quiet with yourself on the game. Just sit with yourself and go into your thoughts and think back and think forward and think in the now, and just think and listen to your own thoughts and be by yourself. When you're submitting to something, understand, like, if when you're talking to your parents, recognize you have to submit to them. So it's a certain time when they start talking, you have to be quiet. When you have to submit to a higher authority, when they're speaking, you have to be quiet. And God speaks to us, but you're going through so much, you're doing so much, you're scrolling, you're watching stuff, you're with your friends, you're on the phone, you're listening to music, you're doing so much, you can't hear God. You have to get you some quiet time with yourself, which is very important, man. If you want to figure out what you want to do, how you going to do it, give time to it. I recommend getting up early, praying, and getting some quiet time, 5, 10, 15, 30 minutes, however many times you can sit there. So a lot of times you're going to hear it. You might not. It might be too much going on in your life, but you have to be there for the conversation. And the conversation with God is not just you talking. Be quiet and listen. It's not going to be a spooky voice that come out of the clouds or creep under the door. It's not going to be a spooky voice. It's going to be your own thoughts that guide you, and the idea is going to come into your head that you can't shake. An idea, something is going to come into your mind that doesn't just run away. You just not going to forget it all of a sudden, or it's going to stick with you. And that is God's voice, that thought that comes with you, that stays with you, that you have to tell somebody, that you have to do, that you have to pursue. That's my word for today. I am Barfeezy, and we are escaping roguish circumstances, one mind at a time. This is day 76. Day 76 of the 90-day challenge, man. And I hope that I encourage you to get you some plans, because I have some big plans. Peace. Shout out to my cousin, dog. I couldn't have did it by myself, yo.